In a world that constantly measures our worth based on likes, opinions, and fleeting approval from others, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. What if the secret to living a fulfilling life lay not in pleasing others, but in nurturing something far more powerful, our own inner value? This is where Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy, can provide profound insight. Born out of the desire to understand how to live a life of purpose and virtue, Stoicism teaches us that true value comes from within. By focusing on developing inner strength, integrity, and wisdom, we can achieve a life that isn't swayed by external circumstances or the approval of others. In the midst of modern distractions, Stoicism offers a timeless guide to finding and cultivating real, lasting worth. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is the belief that our true worth is not determined by the opinions of others, but by how we act and respond to life's challenges. Stoic thinkers like Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca all emphasize the importance of focusing on what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and character. According to Stoicism, external validation, whether it's praise or criticism from others, is ultimately beyond our control. If we place our value in the hands of others, we make ourselves vulnerable to the whims of their approval or disapproval. Stoicism offers a transformative perspective. True value is cultivated from within. It's about building inner strength, cultivating virtues like wisdom, courage, and temperance, and aligning ourselves with our deeper purpose. When we focus on what is truly important, we begin to build respect for ourselves that naturally leads to admiration from others, not because we seek it, but because we live with authenticity and integrity. To help us build a life of true value, Stoic philosophy provides a series of strategies that focus on self-mastery, growth, and purpose. These strategies can be applied in daily life to develop not only strength of character, but also a deeper sense of fulfillment. The Stoics believe that our greatest power lies in our ability to control our responses. Self-control over emotions, desires, and impulses is crucial to living a life that isn't ruled by external influences. By mastering self-control, we become less susceptible to the fluctuating opinions of others, building a solid foundation of inner peace and confidence. While Stoicism emphasizes inner strength, it also teaches the importance of understanding others. Cultivating empathy allows us to navigate relationships with wisdom and compassion. Effective communication becomes a tool for building meaningful connections, not for seeking validation or approval. A core Stoic principle is that our focus should be on continuous self-improvement, not external recognition. When we shift our attention from seeking validation to cultivating our own growth, we empower ourselves to live with purpose and without the need for others' approval. Feedback, both positive and negative, is an essential part of the Stoic approach to growth. Instead of viewing criticism as a personal attack, Stoicism encourages us to see it as an opportunity for self-reflection and improvement. This mindset transforms feedback into a tool for mastering our own character. Life is filled with challenges, and Stoicism teaches us that adversity is inevitable. However, it's not the hardships that define us but our response to them. By cultivating resilience and mental fortitude, we learn to face difficulties with calmness, strength, and clarity, reinforcing our inner value. At the core of Stoic thought is the idea that a meaningful life is one that is lived in accordance with virtue. This means aligning our actions with our values, living with integrity, and pursuing purpose. When we live with this sense of direction, we become naturally respected by others, not because we seek their approval, but because we are true to ourselves. By mastering these strategies, we can create a life of true value, one that doesn't rely on external validation, but is rooted in inner strength and purpose. Through Stoic wisdom, we have the tools to build a life that reflects our highest potential, both in our actions and in our relationships with others. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes that while we cannot control external events, we do have complete power over our reactions to them. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's most revered thinkers, captures this idea in his famous quote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." This profound wisdom encourages us to focus not on trying to control external circumstances, but on mastering our internal responses. In a world constantly trying to stir our emotions, whether through stress, disappointment, or frustration, The ability to control our reactions is one of the greatest tools we can cultivate to live a peaceful, purposeful, and effective life. The Stoic concept of self-control is grounded in the belief that our emotional reactions are often the result of beliefs or judgments we have formed about a situation, not the situation itself. When something undesirable happens, whether it's an argument, a setback at work, or a personal loss, it's easy to let our emotions dictate how we feel and behave. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot change what happens to us, we can change how we respond. Instead of reacting impulsively or allowing ourselves to be swept away by anger, frustration, or sadness, Stoicism urges us to pause, reflect, and choose a response based on wisdom and virtue. Self-control isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending that we don't feel upset. Rather, it's about understanding that our emotions don't have to control us. We can choose to respond thoughtfully rather than react instinctively. This is where emotional resilience plays a significant role. Emotional resilience is the ability to bounce back from challenges with strength and clarity, maintaining composure even in the face of adversity. It's the key to staying grounded and centered no matter the external circumstances. Mastering self-control isn't something that happens overnight. It requires consistent practice and effort. Fortunately, there are several practical steps you can take to cultivate emotional awareness and resilience. The first step toward self-control is becoming aware of our emotions and recognizing the triggers that prompt them. Often, we react automatically to certain situations without considering why we feel the way we do. Developing emotional awareness means noticing when a reaction is beginning to build, whether it's irritation, anxiety, or anger, and then taking a step back to analyze why we feel that way. This awareness gives us the space to pause and consider how we want to respond, rather than reacting impulsively. A simple technique to practice emotional awareness is to pause before responding to any situation that provokes strong emotions. For example, when receiving critical feedback or facing a stressful work deadline, instead of immediately defending yourself or feeling anxious, take a moment to breathe and reflect. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? Why do I feel this way? What is the most constructive way to respond? This pause, however brief, creates a gap between stimulus and reaction, allowing you to regain control. Mindfulness is another powerful tool for cultivating self-control. By learning to focus on the present moment, you reduce the chances of being overwhelmed by past regrets or future worries. Techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, or even simple grounding exercises, like focusing on the sensation of your feet on the ground or the sounds around you, can help bring you back to the present moment. The more we practice mindfulness, the more we train our minds to stay calm and focused when faced with stress. One effective mindfulness technique is the 5-4-3-2-1 exercise, which helps ground you in the here and now. In stressful situations, pause and identify 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This exercise helps break the cycle of negative thinking, anchoring you in the present and calming the nervous system. Building emotional resilience doesn't happen in moments of crisis alone. It is developed through a consistent daily routine. Setting aside time each day for self-reflection, meditation, exercise, or journaling can help you build inner strength. Physical exercise especially has been shown to improve mental health by releasing endorphins, reducing stress, and helping to regulate mood. Additionally, writing in a journal can allow you to reflect on your emotions and responses to daily challenges, helping you identify patterns and develop strategies for emotional regulation. A Stoic practice that can be particularly helpful is the evening reflection. Each evening, take a few minutes to reflect on the day. Ask yourself questions such as, what did I do well today? Where could I have exercised more self-control? How did I react to challenges? And what can I learn from those reactions? This practice of self-examination helps you refine your ability to respond thoughtfully and intentionally in future situations. Self-control and emotional resilience are not just abstract concepts, they have practical applications in everyday life. Countless successful individuals, whether in sports, business, or leadership, have demonstrated the power of self-control in their personal and professional lives. Take, for example, professional athletes. The best athletes, particularly in high-pressure environments like the Olympics or the NBA Finals, are often praised not just for their physical talent, but for their mental toughness and ability to control their emotions. During a tense match, it's easy to succumb to frustration or panic, but the most successful athletes maintain composure, focusing on their skills rather than the pressure. Michael Jordan, considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was known for his ability to remain calm under pressure. His famous flu game, where he played through illness and led his team to victory, is an example of his emotional resilience. Instead of letting fatigue or discomfort take over, he focused on the task at hand and maintained his composure, which ultimately led to success. In business, leaders who demonstrate self-control and emotional resilience are often the ones who inspire the most respect and loyalty from their teams. Consider leaders like Nelson Mandela, who endured decades of imprisonment yet never allowed bitterness or anger to take over his actions. His calm demeanor and ability to rise above hatred and division ultimately made him a symbol of peace and reconciliation. Mandela's emotional resilience helped him lead a nation through one of its most difficult transitions, and his example continues to influence leaders worldwide. Self-control is also a critical factor in building and maintaining strong personal and professional relationships. In both our personal lives and our work lives, we often face moments of conflict, stress, or disagreement. It's in these moments that our ability to control our emotions and reactions is tested. When we respond with self-control in challenging situations, we create a sense of trust and respect with others. People are drawn to those who remain calm and composed, even in the face of adversity. In contrast, those who react impulsively or emotionally can create tension and conflict, potentially damaging relationships. Think about the difference between a leader who handles a crisis with a level head, offering clear guidance and reassurance, versus a leader who becomes flustered or angry. The former inspires confidence and loyalty, while the latter may cause anxiety and distrust. Self-control also plays a significant role in resolving conflicts. Instead of escalating a disagreement with emotional reactions, we can approach it with empathy and understanding. When we maintain our composure, we create the space for more constructive dialogue, allowing both parties to express their concerns and find a resolution. In this way, self-control not only strengthens our personal and professional relationships but also fosters mutual respect and admiration. Ultimately, mastering self-control and emotional resilience through Stoic practices can transform how we approach life's challenges. By developing these skills, we become more grounded, thoughtful, and effective in every aspect of our lives, earning the respect and admiration of others while living in accordance with our highest values. Effective communication is an essential skill for fostering understanding, building relationships, and navigating the complexities of life. At the heart of effective communication lies the Stoic principle of clarity, speaking with simplicity, honesty, and purpose. The Stoics believed that the art of communication goes beyond just exchanging words. It is a powerful tool for cultivating virtue, wisdom, and meaningful connections. By embracing the Stoic teachings on communication, we can transform our interactions and build stronger, more impactful relationships. Clear communication is one of the hallmarks of Stoic thought. Stoicism places a strong emphasis on simplicity, honesty, and truthfulness in both action and speech. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflects on the importance of speaking with clarity and avoiding unnecessary embellishments. He advises, "Make your words few and to the point, like a spear that strikes its target." In other words, communication should be intentional, precise, and free from superfluous words. Stoicism encourages us to value the truth and to avoid the temptation to use language to manipulate, exaggerate, or deceive. Instead, we should use words to convey what is meaningful, helpful, and truthful. This Stoic approach to clarity can be applied in both personal and professional settings. For example, when communicating with colleagues or friends, avoiding excessive jargon and ambiguous language ensures that our messages are understood with precision. The goal is not to impress others with complex words, but to communicate effectively and authentically. By focusing on what truly matters and keeping our speech simple and direct, we avoid misunderstandings and foster trust and respect. The Stoic principles of simplicity and honesty serve as the foundation for the key elements of effective communication. One of the most important aspects of communication is crafting concise, clear messages that avoid ambiguity or unnecessary complexity. When we speak clearly and directly, we ensure that our ideas are not lost in a sea of unnecessary words. Instead of relying on vague language, we should aim to be as straightforward as possible, expressing our thoughts with clarity and precision. Additionally, the use of storytelling is a powerful tool in effective communication. Stories have the ability to engage and captivate an audience, making abstract ideas more tangible and memorable. In Stoic philosophy, narratives play an important role in conveying wisdom. For example, Seneca frequently uses parables to illustrate complex moral lessons. Stories can serve as a bridge between the speaker and the listener, making ideas more accessible and relatable. By sharing personal anecdotes or historical examples, we can deepen the impact of our message and connect with others on a more profound level. Another crucial element of effective communication is the ability to engage in active listening. Listening is often seen as a passive activity, but the Stoics emphasized that true communication is a two-way process. Epictetus, one of the central Stoic philosophers, teaches us that we should listen twice as much as we speak. This reflects the Stoic belief that wisdom comes not only from what we say, but from what we hear. By listening attentively, we gain a deeper understanding of others' perspectives, which allows us to respond more thoughtfully and constructively. Active listening involves more than simply hearing the words someone else is saying. It requires us to be fully present, to engage with the speaker, and to interpret their message with empathy. Techniques for becoming an active listener include maintaining eye contact, using nonverbal cues, such as nodding or leaning forward, and asking questions to clarify understanding. By making a conscious effort to listen attentively, we not only show respect for the speaker, but also gain insight into their thoughts and emotions, which improves the quality of our response. Effective communication is not just about conveying information, it's about building relationships and creating meaningful connections. The Stoic emphasis on empathy and respect for others aligns with the idea that communication is a tool for fostering deeper bonds. When we communicate clearly and listen actively, we create an environment in which others feel heard, valued, and understood. This strengthens relationships and promotes mutual respect. For instance, when we listen with empathy and respond thoughtfully, we demonstrate a genuine interest in others' well-being. This approach builds trust and rapport, which is essential for both personal and professional relationships. In contrast, when we fail to listen or communicate ambiguously, we risk alienating others and creating misunderstandings. Clear, empathetic communication can help bridge divides, resolve conflicts, and encourage collaboration. An example of this is the way that effective leaders communicate with their teams. Take someone like Nelson Mandela, who was known for his ability to listen carefully and respond with empathy, especially during moments of great tension. Mandela's communication style was rooted in understanding and humility, which allowed him to unite a divided nation. His ability to engage with others, listen to their concerns, and communicate clearly and respectfully contributed to his success as a leader. Mandela's approach to communication wasn't just about articulating his own ideas, it was about connecting with others on a deeper level, fostering an environment of trust and collaboration. In the modern world, effective communicators are often those who understand the power of listening as much as speaking. Leaders, influencers, and professionals who master the art of active listening and clarity are able to form meaningful connections with those around them. Consider Oprah Winfrey, whose success as a talk show host and media mogul can be attributed in part to her exceptional listening skills. Oprah has a unique ability to make her guests feel heard and valued, which not only makes her interviews compelling but also builds a sense of trust with her audience. Oprah's ability to communicate effectively also highlights another Stoic principle, the importance of being present in the moment. By giving her full attention to each conversation, she creates a space where people can open up and share their true thoughts and feelings. Her success as a communicator is rooted in the clarity of her questions, the simplicity of her language, and her genuine interest in others' stories. Another example can be found in the world of business. Leaders like Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, have transformed companies through their commitment to clear and empathetic communication. Nadella's leadership style emphasizes the importance of listening to employees, valuing their perspectives, and fostering an environment of open dialogue. His approach has helped to drive innovation and collaboration at Microsoft, illustrating how effective communication can lead to long-term success. Effective communication is not confined to the realm of leadership or public figures. It is a skill that everyone can develop and apply in their daily lives. In our personal relationships, clear communication and active listening help us build stronger connections with family members, friends, and colleagues. For instance, a parent who communicates calmly and clearly with their child is more likely to foster an environment of trust and mutual respect. Similarly, a partner who listens actively and speaks with empathy will strengthen their relationship and improve the quality of their interactions. In the workplace, professionals who communicate effectively, whether through emails, meetings, or one-on-one interactions, are able to create a more positive and productive environment. Effective communication is not just about conveying information, but about fostering collaboration, resolving conflicts, and ensuring that everyone feels heard. Whether you're a manager, a team member, or a client, the ability to communicate clearly and listen actively is invaluable in building strong, cooperative relationships. In sum, cultivating effective communication is an ongoing practice that requires clarity, empathy, and a willingness to listen. By embracing Stoic principles such as simplicity, honesty, and active listening, we can enhance our ability to connect with others, resolve conflicts, and build meaningful relationships. Whether we're speaking to a large audience, having a conversation with a colleague, or simply interacting with family and friends, the ability to communicate effectively is a powerful tool for personal and professional growth. Through clear communication, we can express our thoughts and values with precision, foster understanding, and create deeper bonds with those around us. In today's world, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking approval from others. Whether through social media likes, praise from peers, or professional accolades, we often measure our self-worth based on the validation we receive from the outside world. However, the Stoic philosophers, such as Seneca, offer a radical shift in perspective. Instead of measuring our value by external opinions, they encourage us to look inward and focus on our own growth. This approach not only cultivates true self-worth, but also leads to lasting fulfillment. Seneca, in his letters and essays, presents a compelling argument against the pursuit of external validation. He writes, "The greatest wealth is to live content with little." In this simple yet profound statement, Seneca invites us to rethink our relationship with the world around us. True wealth, he suggests, is not found in material possessions, praise, or status. Rather, it is found in the ability to find contentment and peace within ourselves, regardless of external circumstances. The Stoics viewed external validation as fleeting and unreliable. When we seek approval from others, we become dependent on their opinions, which are often beyond our control. This dependency erodes our sense of self-worth and leaves us vulnerable to disappointment, frustration, and anxiety. If our happiness is tied to the approval of others, we are at the mercy of their changing moods, opinions, and judgments. In contrast, the Stoic path encourages us to cultivate self-worth that is not dependent on others' opinions. By shifting our focus away from external validation, we can build a stronger, more resilient sense of self. The Stoic philosophers emphasized the importance of focusing on personal growth, cultivating virtues, and living in accordance with one's own values, rather than seeking validation from others. Instead of striving for external recognition or applause, Stoicism encourages us to seek inner growth, self-mastery, and the pursuit of wisdom for its own sake. This shift in mindset requires us to value intrinsic growth rather than external accolades. Intrinsic growth is the process of developing and improving ourselves for our own benefit, not because we seek praise or acknowledgement. It's about fostering a genuine passion for learning, evolving, and becoming the best version of ourselves. When we prioritize personal growth, we focus on the internal rewards of self-improvement, such as increased confidence, resilience, and wisdom. These rewards are far more lasting and fulfilling than external praise, which can be fleeting and unreliable. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is that the only true control we have lies within our thoughts, actions, and responses. By focusing on personal growth, we reclaim our power and direct it toward building a life of purpose, integrity, and meaning. The Stoics teach that the ultimate goal is not to seek validation from others, but to live a life that is virtuous, meaningful, and in line with our values. In a world obsessed with success, achievement, and recognition, it's easy to forget the true value of learning and self-improvement. The Stoics, however, understood that the pursuit of wisdom is not a race for external accolades, but a lifelong journey of personal growth. For the Stoics, the joy of learning lies not in the recognition we receive, but in the development of our own character and understanding. To cultivate a passion for learning and self-improvement, it's important to shift our focus away from the end goal and instead embrace the process of growth itself. This means engaging in activities that challenge and expand our minds, pushing ourselves to explore new ideas, and developing skills without worrying about whether others will notice or applaud us. Whether it's reading, practicing a craft, or acquiring a new skill, the process of self-improvement becomes its own reward when we let go of the need for external validation. Moreover, pursuing growth for its own sake aligns with the Stoic principle of amor fati, the love of fate. This philosophy teaches us to embrace challenges and setbacks as opportunities for growth, rather than seeing them as obstacles to our success. Every challenge we face can be an opportunity to learn, evolve, and refine our character. When we adopt this mindset, we stop seeking validation from others and start focusing on the deeper, more meaningful rewards of personal growth. To cultivate personal growth over external validation, there are several practical steps you can take. These steps can help you shift your focus from seeking approval to seeking self-improvement and inner fulfillment. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is self-reflection. Each day, take time to reflect on your actions, thoughts, and progress. Ask yourself questions like, what did I do well today? What could I have done differently? How did I grow today? This daily reflection helps you stay connected to your personal journey of growth, independent of external opinions. It allows you to measure your progress based on your own standards, rather than those of others. Engaging in activities that challenge you, whether physically, mentally, or emotionally, can help you grow in ways that external validation cannot measure. These challenges provide opportunities for self-improvement, resilience, and mastery. Whether it's running a marathon, learning a new language, or tackling a difficult project at work, choose activities that push your limits and allow you to learn something new. The sense of accomplishment that comes from overcoming challenges for the sake of personal growth is far more fulfilling than external praise. Cultivating gratitude for your own personal growth can help you shift your focus away from external validation. Each day, take a moment to appreciate the progress you've made, no matter how small. This practice of gratitude helps you recognize that the journey of self-improvement is valuable in itself, regardless of how others may perceive it. Rather than seeking external validation, focus on the internal rewards of self-improvement. These include greater confidence, wisdom, resilience, and the satisfaction of knowing that you are living in alignment with your values. When you focus on these internal rewards, you become less dependent on others' opinions and more centered in your own growth. True value is not something that can be granted or taken away by others. It is something that we create through our actions, our integrity, and our commitment to personal growth. By focusing on developing ourselves, we build a lasting foundation of value that is not contingent on external praise or approval. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom: living in accordance with our values, pursuing wisdom, and cultivating virtue, regardless of the recognition we may receive. When we focus on personal growth, we not only create a deep sense of self-worth, but we also naturally inspire respect and admiration from others. People are drawn to those who are grounded in their own sense of purpose and who prioritize growth over validation. By living authentically and pursuing our own improvement, we naturally earn the respect of others, not because we seek it, but because we demonstrate true value through our actions.